you know, the guy's done his level best. He's already provided the most entertaining moment of the broadcast with the repeat please clip, which is already out there. So if you guys want to see the translator back, and I do, and I think we all do, right?
Yeah,
tweet at Hellspawn. Find him on Twitter and tweet at him and say, you've got to change your mind.
I think
right?
it's, what's it? Is Hellspawn
what's his
Lord.
Twitter?
Hellspawn Lord.
Hellspawn Lord.
At Hellspawn Lord.
At Hellspawn Lord. There you go. I think that actually speaks to his narcissism as well,
Yeah,
adding the Lord at the end.
Keep the translator.
Yeah. Hashtag keep the translator.
Or save the translator.
Hashtag repeat please.
Repeat, please.
Maybe rehire please.
Rehire, please.
Anyway, so look, we are going to have a game at some point in this event. The next one we've got coming up for you is going to be Frauer versus Endlessstorm. And it's going to be one of those close games. I mean, like we talked a little bit earlier about Frauer, this returning Brood War legend. Endlessstorm, perhaps a little bit unknown. I think this is going to be one of the first times that, you know, he's kind of come up. And you said he's a little bit nervous about being broadcast on the stream. So this is going to be an interesting match, Sean. Why is it going to be so close?
Yeah, I mean, it's a group full of Protoss players here. So anything can really happen to that, especially in a best-of-3 scenario. The matchup's obviously very volatile in this kind of scenario. One mistake can actually kick you down to the low bracket, and we've seen for the likes of DMC, advancing first place can actually happen in a group like this. So Endlessstorm is nervous. He mentioned in game now he's being broadcast, and as a player in these type of tournaments, you don't really get the opportunity to be on the main stream very often. Usually on a side stream, which you don't really put too much thought on because there's only a couple of hundred people. But you know, tens of thousands now watching you to play. And Freyer's got a lot of experience. He was one of the biggest Protoss players with the highest amount of potential a couple of years back in StarCraft 2 before he stopped playing.
I'm looking at you, Todd. He stole all your points from me.
Sorry, mate.
You know, Frauer.
They both play Protoss and they're cheesy, apparently.
Exactly.
Grandmasters.
Endlessstorm is another one of those guys that's Protoss and Grandmaster. That's all I'm going to say about him. Frauer, as Apollo mentioned, is one of those guys that has been around a long time. He's supposed also, I guess, to be fairly inactive. But I see his Grandmaster, which I didn't even know. I've been traveling a lot myself. I haven't played him on ladder recently.
Sounds like it's a safe guess, though, at this stage.
Frauer, he was one of those first guys in the European scene who really focused on refining his builds and doing very, very crisp builds for the first few minutes of play. And, you know, he did very, very well. I remember never, ever beating him on ladder. So there you go.
He must be good.
There you go.
Yes.
Actually, I was just looking at his Eliguac, and his last recorded, January was the last time he had some decent amount of volume on his Eliguac. January, so that's quite a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
But recently, he's played again, and he's only got 3 games recently added in there. 2 wins, 1 loss. 2 wins, 1 against Slivko, and the other against Marine Lord. 2 pretty good European players. So, I mean, this guy seems like he's back and playing well.
Well, let's do some predictions. We're going to start with you. We haven't talked to you in this matchup.
Well, I mean, PvP and Euros together, it means I don't have too much knowledge about these guys. But
See, and I knew that, which is why I didn't ask you.
Thank you.
But yeah, come on, give me a prediction quickly.
I think...
Quicker than that.
All right. 2-0 for Frauer, for sure. 2-0, yeah.
Todd,
Same.
Sean, predictions?
2-0
same.
for Frauer.
Okay, so we're going to go to that game now. So don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you Frauer versus Endlessstorm coming up now.
Already now, and here we are right into the game. Immediately, very fast transition there. But look at this. We already started with a proxy gateway from Frauer. Already a probe on the other side of the map. And we are going to see a rush. And I think this is actually a cool way to start this series, especially when your opponent says in the chat, I'm nervous, then to put his micro ability to the test.
Yeah, because, you know, even... Like when somebody's nervous, if he scouts a proxy, there is a good chance he's kind of going to choke, play it wrong. So there is the possibility that could happen. There is also the possibility this doesn't get scouted, in which case he's just that much stronger. It looks like it's going to be a single gate, which usually is Zealots into a 3-gate Stalker, which is very, very, very strong. It's one of the proxies that's been the least done. And look, he's actually going to miss it because you don't really look there.
Oh, no, he sees
the
it.
pylon.
Oh,
He
boy.
looked for it, actually. This is a big deal.
No, this is, I can't believe he's spotted this so early here. He was scouting all inside his main base, but the best part is Frauer hasn't even, I mean, he doesn't know that he's been spotted.
He might have, no? Didn't the gate finish when the probe was in range? I mean, regardless, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to get 2 or 3 Zealots.
I mean,
he's going to try and go into a warp gate attack behind this. And double gateway going down for Endlessstorm means he's going to be able to chrono boost out a lot of Stalkers, defend this quite easily. I really don't see this working now for Frauer. And, you know,
Yeah.
the 2-0 prediction already looking kind of bad.
I know, man. This proxy gateway may not work here. So the Zealot enters, and let's see how Endlessstorm's going to manage this now. He pulls a couple of probes, looking for a surround on that Zealot. But obviously...
Endlessstorm needs to be careful. Like, the biggest mistake you can do against this is think you've already defended and underestimate it.
Right.
Because it's going to be 2 Zealots into a quick Stalker. So when those 2 Zealots are there, that's when Frauer can do the most damage, and that's what he's going to want to try and look to do. See, like the surround's not going to work here.
Mothership core already on its way out here, so it's going to push this back, but Stalker is almost out here for Frauer too. The other one is being built currently for Endlessstorm, but only just started.
I remember playing against
back
this.
off.
I think when I played Kung Fu Panda,
Yeah.
when I tried to qualify for Premier League or for Challenger in one of the qualifiers, and he did this build and I underestimated it, and then I ended up losing because I took too much damage early on. But right now, Endlessstorm has done a fantastic job of not really losing anything much. He's lost 1 single unit so far this game.
Doesn't want to lose the Mothership core though. He's taking a bit of real damage there, but Stalker pops out, and it's 2 Zealots and a Stalker versus 2 Zealots and a Stalker, but with the Mothership core. Second Stalker comes in to actually help out and assist a little bit here. But there's going to be more units coming out from Endlessstorm. Yeah, he's going to pull back.
Pulling 3 Zealots.
He's pylon blocked here.
Oh,
no, okay.
The Mothership core. He needs to make sure he keeps that alive. And he made another Zealot. I'm a little bit surprised. Usually you want to make only Stalkers out of those gateways. Endlessstorm maybe not doing as well as he could have here. 95 energy. Let's see.
He's taking a couple of probe hits though while he waits for this photon overcharge. He's going to be able to activate it now. And he's going to hold this back off for a little bit. But behind this, Warp Gate almost done here for Frauer. An extra couple of gateways being added on too. And throughout all of this, we don't even have Warp Gate research being built for Endlessstorm.
So this is usually what happens. Like against this one gateway, obviously the one proxying is not going to be able to get that many units out of just one gateway. But then the 3 gateways comes in with the Warp Gate so fast, and Frauer might still be able to pull this off. He can't lose units now though. Still trading pretty well. Very nice micro.
Yeah, good micro here. But the photon overcharge is going to go down soon. 2 extra Stalkers going to pop out shortly for Endlessstorm, but it's going to be 4 gateways from Frauer with Warp Gate technology, so he can warp in right over the other side. And this is going to really ramp up the pressure now.
Endlessstorm could have made a sentry to try and hold and force field the ramp, but he didn't. He made some more Stalkers instead. And Frauer, even though he has to go up the ramp, he might have enough here. Ooh, Frauer doesn't have any more Zealots to tank at the front.
No, and 2 more Stalkers are going to be made here.
Still no Warp
Gate
Gate
research.
There we go, he's
starting.
Is it too late? I think it's too late.
We'll find out here.
Oh, nice move.
Oh.
Nice move.
Yeah, grabs the Stalker for free there, using, of course, the high ground advantage that he has. And so far, so good here for Endlessstorm at the moment. Loses the Mothership core.
Snipe, another very important Stalker, but, I mean, Frauer is still warping in Stalkers.
Yeah, it's 4 gateways versus 2.
And a Warp Gate against no Warp Gate, most
Yeah.
of all, which is very important. You can get your units out much faster, but there is no proxy pylon very close to that ramp, so Frauer kind of takes a bit of time to reinforce.
Yeah.
Actually, Endlessstorm is going to go down the ramp. Frauer needs to pull back. If he starts losing Stalkers uselessly here and there, he's going to be in trouble. He gets the Twilight Council. I think he might just want to go into Blink with the 4 gateways that he has to close out the game.
But a massive advantage here for Frauer, obviously. Huge, huge advantage. A couple of gateways or single gateway, maybe a second one shortly for Endlessstorm. We'll see if he goes to 3 or 4, but he's going to clean up the pylon, brings down one of these gateways, so it is just now 3 for Frauer. But he's backed off. He's putting his resources into what we can imagine is going to be Blink here. But likewise is Endlessstorm. Is he weathered the storm here, Todd?
Wow. Team Bad Puns. Yes, he did for now. I think he had made a Stargate just now, and then cancel Gateway, and then just canceled it to make that one Stargate he's making. Bad news. Blink already started for Frauer.
Yeah.
I think Frauer might just keep entirely on getting any detection because he knows that his opponent is not doing well economically. Or you can even get a Robo. I mean, it's not a massive investment. Just have the Robo up. But keep in mind, he's down to 3 gateways, not 4 anymore. Does this go into a normal game? I'm a little surprised that Frauer doesn't seem to want to come. Yeah, he gets a Robo now. So I guess he might not want to try and commit to a massive attack behind this with a lot of Stalkers. At least not just yet.
He's still warping in a Stalker or 2. Does he start to save money for an expansion? Does he continue to warp in units? He continues. He adds another Stalker there. He's rising up the count quite fast here, but neither of them right now have any idea what the follow-up is from either side here. Frauer doesn't know what Endlessstorm's doing. Endlessstorm doesn't really know what Freyer's doing here, but there is a cannon in the middle line. An Oracle is being built here, and a Nexus has been thrown down for Endlessstorm. But where is Frauer going with this?
With the cannon, I didn't really have to do this considering he was getting an Oracle, but maybe he thought, well, you know what, if he goes DTs, maybe I can defend back at home while I wreck his mineral line. Usually when you go for an Oracle, you kind of hope for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Frauer is going to let that happen, even though he's moving out with all of his Stalkers right now.
He's got a pylon in the middle being built next to the DreamHack Star. He's also moving forward with a probe for an aggressive pylon. He's continuing to warp in units here. He's going to try and break this natural.
If the Oracle flies into the main of Frauer and he uses the Photon Overcharge late, he could lose a lot of probes, even though the Overcharge will kill the Oracle. That's assuming Endlessstorm does not pull back that Oracle. Let's see. He's flying into the main. He's going to start sniping probes. Late reaction by Frauer. He can actually pull out of there after 4 kills here.
Yeah, and then he can go back in, but at the same time, Freya's on the other side of the map with his Blink Stalkers. A force field goes down, perfect force field there, keeps these units out, but he will lose the Nexus, so he will get reset to 1 base. And Blink versus an Oracle, well, at the moment, these Stalkers do reign superiority, but there is a Mothership Core inside there. He does have a Photon Overcharge shortly, he's not quite ready.
That's a very scary amount of Blink Stalkers, by the way, here by Frauer, who should be able to trade well. The Mothership Core needs to be kept alive. 95 energy. Oh!
And it's gone. And Frauer is going to, well, looks like he's going to blink his way to victory here. There's not much left over, and Immortal's on the way, but a little bit too late here. And Frauer, who opened up this one, very aggressive with the proxy gateway, had a beautiful setup and transition to move into the next part of this game and is able to execute this very nicely. Good game, well played. Frauer does take map number 1 here. So predictions all across the board going in the way of Frauer.
After a bit of a shaky start, you know, getting scouted, the proxy not doing much, he chooses not to overcommit to it, just pulls back, and he did pretty well with this, you know, just taking to a blink, getting the robo on time as well to make sure he wasn't going to die to some kind of DT play. He had the ramp walled off with his units anyway, moves out, leaves the Mothership Core back at home, very important. You know how many games I've lost not leaving anything back at home when an Oracle flew in?
I know, man.
A lot, Apollo.
A lot. That Oracle flies in, and boom, boom goes the probes as they get blown up. But we'll get ready for game number 2 now. We're going to be hosting that very, very shortly for you here. But we have to credit Endlessstorm. Scouted early, found what potentially is coming his way, and also dealt with it really well as well. Didn't, you know, choke, as you said, that can happen to a lot of players there. Knew what to do, how to do it. Maybe I think Warp Gate research could have been thrown in there a little bit earlier.
Especially since he was making Zealots. Like usually with this, the way he played with the 2 gateways, you do that if you're facing a 2 gate. Now it was just a 1 gate, which he didn't stay there long enough to make sure of. So he just made some Zealots. And I don't know, it was really weird. I do think he could have done a lot better, and then obviously he could have won if he had done that. But it really looked like what we were expecting in the end. Just Frauer, the more experienced player, more solid, who just took a victory after he just outdid his opponent.
And this is, of course, Group M here in the round of 64 as we're getting closer and closer to finishing the 64 stage of the tournament, getting closer to that round of 32, which will be happening in a couple of hours' time once we play 3 games in total, including this one in the round of 64. In Group M, we have Wellmu, who is the other, or the more notable Protoss in that group, who's definitely going to be looking at a first-place finish here. I'm sure anything less than that would be a slight disappointment for Wellmu. And we have another Russian Protoss in there called Lomani, is the 4th player in Group M. But 4 Protoss players all fighting for the top 2 positions here. Of course, top 2 do move through to the round of 32. Our next map, though, in this best of 3 is going to be Overgrowth between these 2 players, which we'll be getting into very shortly here. How do you think that Endlessstorm's going to continue to approach this series now? He's just been cheesed. He's lost game number 1, not to the cheese, but to the follow-up. What's next? Does he go on, you know, heavy scouting again, not to have the same thing happen? Does he try to play an overall safe game? Does he try to be aggressive himself? What do you think maybe in a mindset of a more nervous player here?
The first game didn't really tell us much about him in terms of how he was going to go into this match. I mean, all we know is that he didn't want to proxy. Everything else, I mean, as soon as you scout the proxy, you have to play fairly standard. He did try to go for a Stargate. I'm not sure what his read was. Like, if you think about it, you get proxied, you know your opponent has warp gates, he's already on quite a few gateways. What do you expect him to get? I guess Blink. So why would you go for a Stargate? He's never going to do all that much. So it was a little bit weird of a strategy. Maybe Stargate is just his go-to build. But yeah, I really feel like that first game didn't tell us much as far as is he really an aggressive player that's going to try to make a difference on one base once he has his stake, or is he somebody who prefers to sit back and macro? I guess we'll see more in the next game because I don't think that Frauer tries to proxy again. Which, by the way, he surprised me by going for a proxy in the first game. He's that guy who actually in Wings of Liberty played safe very well. He was one of the first guys to go for a quick expand on Ohana, getting a robo behind it, a build which at the time did very well against everything except Stargate.
Stargate, man. The Stargate. We'll see if that's being used in this series again or not.
The love triangle, man.
The love triangle.
Stargate beats Robo, that beats Twilight, that beats Stargate.
The Wings of Liberty styles, man. Especially the heavy blink play on the older maps like Cloud Kingdom and so on that you just hardly could beat the blink play when played correctly. But of course, this is a new era of StarCraft in Heart of the Storm here. This plays out kind of similar, or used to a lot more so, with the Mothership Core, but with the Mothership Core changing its vision range and also the duration of Time Warp, things have slowly moved back to a more stable set of openers here.
Actually, things got faster in the Time Warp. Haha.
Hashtag team puns, team bad puns here on the caster desk.
Hashtag only 10 seconds.
Only 10 seconds. Both players here actually took a couple of moments there just to kind of regather themselves ready for this next one. And then we're going to be jumping in immediately here. But round of 64, group stage games as expected. This type of quality games here at every DreamHack. And of course, we get closer and closer to the top 16, which I think is where the tournament set of players is really going to start to stack up. Even the round of 32, we're going to have some good clashes of good players. And of course, the round of 16 as well.
How many Russians did you predict again for the top 16?
2.
Okay.
I predict Happy and LiveZerg.
What did
the 2?
Moonglade say? 4?
Did he say 2?
I say 2 as well.
I think he said 2, but didn't name them.
I'm going to say 3 then.
Yeah? You think Slivsko's going to go through as well to the top 16?
Maybe it might be even more.
That's the bracket stage of the tournament, remember, as well.
Yeah.
So we play group stages until...
Yeah, it's top 16.
Top 16.
Like in top 8, I would say probably 0, but...
I think
Happy.
top 8,
Maybe
0.
Happy.
Maybe, but more likely 0. Richard Lewis is probably going to be right anyway.
No, we can't let that happen.
No way.
He's not even from this game.
No. I'm not sure what game he is from.
FPS.
FPS genre.
That's not a game, that's a genre, but still.
Fast paper, scissors. Game is ready, Todd. Here, having fun at the DreamHack Open Moscow tournament from the awesome DreamHack Monster Energy Studios. Here we go. Game number 2 between these two players. Up here to the top right is the blue Protoss player, who goes by the name of Endlessstorm, who is, of course, the slight underdog here, or more so bigger underdog between the two of them. Left-handed player. Don't see many of those. And then, of course, down to the bottom left, we have Freya, who wants to proxy again from Team Vega. And, of course, it's right-handed, as you can see.
What happened to Frauer?
Why?
Did he go to, like, Tibet to meditate, and he's like, oh, from now my life is going to be, like, all about the YOLO, and, like, he's, like, proxying every single time? Did he watch all the VODs of SOS and
12
decide?
months of my lives in the mountains, considering the way that SOS plays the game, and I've returned back to my country to compete in StarCraft tournaments and cheese every single game. This time, though, does Endlessstorm even bother to scout early? He scouted after the gateway previously. Does he do it again? Does he expect this to potentially happen again?
When you do it once, usually you do it often, and I think he's gonna...
Only the main base!
Not yet. Yeah, so I think he's probably not gonna see it now. Wow, I'm a little bit surprised.
So this could end very, very fast.
This could be a case of Endlessstorm thinking he did it in the first game. He's not gonna do it in the second game. I don't even need to check. So he just checks in base and he's like, well, probably not gonna do it outside my base, but it is.
Well, I mean, Good Game RU seems to have called this one already in favor of Freya and just doesn't even want to bother casting this. Well, it looks like so is VP BenQ Alex UA, all in favor of Freya to win this one, as they don't even want to see the conclusion. It could be very brutal.
Where's the passion?
No passion here, guys. You're at least meant to watch it till the end. Here comes more of a regular scout coming out here from Endlessstorm. He has a look towards the back of his mineral line, and is he even going to swing
He's like, why
left?
are they leaving? There must be a reason.
Why are they leaving? Oh, that's why. This is Zealot headed to my base. And unfortunately for Endlessstorm, there is actually nothing he can do to change his build and setup here. He's stuck with what he's got, which is a late addition of a unit here, no extra chrono boost available, and he's taking on the same build as previous, this time without the knowledge of it even happening. And I think this time we very well may see a very different ending here.
Frauer is doing this so well, placing his Zealot between the middle line. And that assimilator is going to be very difficult to hold this. He needs the quick mothership. But look, Warp Gate already starts for Frauer. This is not meant to kill his opponent. I mean, if he can kill some probes here and there, sure, but as long as he keeps his units alive, he's always going to have the Warp Gate finishing behind this with the double additional gateway with which you're meant to finish the game.
Yeah, he's already got more probes than his opponent here. So we'll see. Actually, maybe not. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong overlay. Excuse me. Okay, so 2 Zealots and Stalker are going to move in. And the pressure now started to mount on Endlessstorm. This is his first game of the DreamHack Moscow tournament.
Still no Warp Gate for Endlessstorm. No, just like in the previous game. He has the gas.
Yeah, but
Ooh, that Stalker.
feeling that pressure, making a couple of mistakes here. 2 Zealots chasing that Stalker. Great micro here from Frauer, not even taking any real damage to his own Stalker. Chases down a Zealot. And remember, there are more units coming his way here. Endlessstorm, a second Stalker does come in for Frauer, and it is 2 Zealots and 2 Stalkers versus a single of each of the own units for Endlessstorm here, and he's going to target these down. Good micro here from Frauer, and unfortunately off a single gateway here, minimal units, and even the Stalker gets trapped by the 2 Zealots there. A little bit unfortunate for Frauer not to continue with that, as he was focusing on his Stalker micro to keep that alive.
And 3 additional gateways being made behind this for Frauer at about the time his Warp Gate should complete. He's going to have those up, and this is just going to be even deadlier in this game than it was in the previous one.
Yeah, it looks like the Mothership Core pretty much has enough energy now for a Photon Overcharge.
Stalker.
Picks off one of these Zealots.
He's getting a sentry this time. I think he might try to force field the ramp, cool pull some probes. If he kills all of those units up his ramp, he's gonna have a chance, but he would lose probes then, and maybe fall behind economically.
Yeah, and there's again pretty much the same follow-up here, just 4 gateways in total. Here we go. How is Endlessstorm going to manage this? Another Stalker comes into the base, 4 Stalkers and a Zealot versus 3 Stalkers and a Sentry. 4 Stalker comes out here for Endlessstorm. Still has that force field available. There's 3 Stalkers about 20. You really cannot let these in because the Mothership Cores Photon Overcharge will be down shortly. They enter the base, and now it's 7 Stalkers versus just 4. A couple of extra Zealots are coming in, but Photon Overcharge is down. Is this where Frauer takes a 2-0? It's looking that way.
I think so. If he just targets on the Stalkers with his own, he's just going to pull back the injured ones for now. And I mean, the Stalker count just says it all. 7-4 right now. He even has more Zealots on the ground to really tank.
Mothership Core goes down. 3 Stalkers remain, being chased by 5 here with 2 Zealots, as you say, taking the tanking damage. And Frauer looking at a convincing 2-0 here to open up his DreamHack Moscow tournament. And a big welcome to the competitive scene again for Frauer. It's been a long time. 2011 was when he was really in his prime. So, a couple of good results in 2012, but welcome to 2014. Well played, good game. And a fast 2-0 for Frauer here against his opponents. And that is, of course, a boost in the right direction to advancing from today's group. And more than likely, he'll be playing against Welmu in the winners match here, the clear favorite for the entire of the group. And,
he's making this proxy look extremely strong. I've had some problem myself against it in the past, and I've always thought, like, what's the best way to counter? So now it kind of makes me wonder, like, I want him to do this against Welmu, do it again, and I want Welmu to show me how to counter. Maybe that would be cool, because it's very, very hard. I feel like there is a way to counter this, which is clear, and like you cannot really derive from that path. Which is maybe pulling some probes, starting your own warp gate as soon as you can, just trying to match the numbers of your opponent. But you never, when you see one gateway go down, or even if you don't see it, like it's very hard to know exactly how many units are going to come out of this. Like sometimes you're going to be like, it's probably just going to be 1 Zealot into Stalker, sometimes 2 Zealots, sometimes it's going to be 3 Zealots. So if you skip on one of those yourself, then when the opponent has 3 Zealots, he can get inside of your middle line and start doing a ton of damage. So it's very difficult. Like the execution of Frauer is just so good, and in terms of micro and decision making, with the 2 Zealots, 2 Stalkers, and then the additional gateways kicking in, it's very, very difficult to hold.
Yeah, I guess the big difference, obviously, between Game 1 and Game 2 is just the pure scout. Seeing it in Game 1, better reaction, longer game, simply. Game 2, though, just unfortunately not seeing it, not being able to adapt the build to it, and he didn't call the bluff, unfortunately, there. And as we saw, it was a proxy gateway twice in a row. In a couple of minutes, we will have the interview with Frauer, and I'm actually quite interested to see what he's got to say for himself. You know, coming back to the StarCraft scene, why did he come back? Is it because of just this event here? Is he looking to make a return to the competitive scene? Of course, a lot of you newer StarCraft players may not know who he was, but he definitely had a lot of potential to be he was one of the up-and-comers, to be one of the better Protoss players in Europe in his prime.
What do you mean? Why did he come back? Nobody really ever leaves.
No one ever leaves StarCraft.
Richard Lewis is here now, and he's never going to do events for another game than StarCraft.
No, it's Richard Lewis has committed his passion to StarCraft now. He's going to get a tattoo with the hashtag passion on his shoulder, and it's done, man. And he is one of us now, apparently. Rest in peace, the other games that he used to do, whatever games they were.
Whichever they were.
Whatever they were, I'm not really too sure. Anyway, Smix is standing by with Frauer. Take it away, my dear.
Thank you very much, Apollo. I am here with the winner of that game. Now, we saw him use some really, really bold strategies going Proxygate in both games. Now, Frauer, what was your mindset? Did you just decide that in the spot, or did you plan on going Proxygate both games before?
Always and ladder I play. No, not always. More games. I can say. Maybe I win lost one game of 5. This strategy. It's very good strategy because you kill opponents' workers, and you have more workers, then you can win in macro or first minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but Todd, the caster, he also said that he thought your strategy was very, very good. So, and he's also a Protoss player. So now, Frauer, obviously you have a long history in StarCraft 2, not just StarCraft 2, but also Brood War. Now, you were inactive for a very long time, but recently you came back. Why was that, and how is it going back into StarCraft 2 after a long break?
Maybe I tried to get some money or something, win everybody. And I wanna play in StarCraft to next version. I don't know when Blizzard make this version, so I try play it.
Okay, now my last question. You actually did really well at a DreamHack in the past. At DreamHack Open Summer 2012, you got top 4. Now you're here at DreamHack Open Moscow 2014. How do you think you will do here? And do you have a goal for how good you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe I get something, but I play only 3 weeks. It's not much. I lost too much game and ladder, so I not feel I'm very good. Maybe if I have luck, I win something.
All right, well, best of luck, Frauer. Thank you very much for the interview. Now, guys, we are going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, it'll be MMA versus Live Zerg, so stay tuned.